Welcome back to Dheya Coaching Academy presents Career Guidance Series, Journey Towards My Dheya. Today we have with us the superhero of our times, Dr. Gauri Khired Dhumke. She is a consultant gynecologist in MJM Hospital, Pune. She has pursued MBBS, DGO, and is practicing obstetrics and gynecology, infertility, adolescent care, menopause, premarital counseling, MTP, and many other areas. Hello, doctor. How are you?
Hi, Riti. I'm good.
First of all,
Thank you for
salute to all of
inviting me
you.
over here.
Yes, and salute to all of you. You have been doing a tremendous job in this pandemic situation today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
What
for
is
that
your
kind words.
experience while working right now in COVID situation?
It's really gloomy these days, actually. It's tough to work in hospital as, I mean, like, actually, while seeing patients and in OPD, I treat as if every patient is a COVID patient. So I take
Hmm.
all my precautions because I have
Right.
a family back at home. So, I don't want to be a carrier. And,
Absolutely.
I've taken my vaccine shots, but my
Hmm.
family is not yet vaccinated. So I'm really
Hmm.
skeptical about that. Ki, what will happen if I get positive? I have a
Hmm.
small kid. So how will
Right.
I do
Right.
with that? Again,
Hmm.
I'll have to stop my practice for 15 days at least. I'll be quarantined or
Absolutely.
something of that sort. So
Hmm.
while treating all the patients, I treat as if every patient is a COVID patient, but
Hmm.
it's really tough,
Hmm.
and people are not really disciplined. That's the worst
Hmm.
thing in India, actually, because
Right.
people are not really following rules and not even wearing masks, just a
Hmm.
cloth mask,
Hmm.
social distancing, hand
Hmm.
washing. That's
Hmm.
not really, followed. That's the basic cause for
Hmm.
so many, I mean, like the second wave, rather, increasing cases.
Right. Right. Right.
So I would appeal to people that please be more disciplined, stay home, stay safe.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Even regarding vaccination, many of the youngsters feel that they have a lot of immunity built in them, so they do not need any vaccination. So, what is your
Yeah, yeah,
suggestion
yeah.
on it?
No, no, not at all. Even though you have had got COVID first,
Hmm.
still, I mean, those immunity things like T cell immunity, B cell
Hmm.
boosters, or whatever, the immunity you get, antibodies which you develop,
Hmm.
those will not really last for more than 3 months. So,
Okay.
vaccine is a must in this time. I mean, like in this vast population of India, I would suggest everyone should get vaccinated. 18 years
Right.
and above for sure, and pregnant females are not allowed. Otherwise, I would suggest all the kids, or rather all the youngsters and the
Youngsters.
elderly people should surely get vaccinated.
Definitely. Doctor, coming to your personal life now, how did you choose MBBS as your career?
I don't really know, actually. I don't even remember, but since I was a kid, I was really fascinated with this term as a doctor, and I always wanted to be a surgeon. I don't know why. I mean, like, I don't even have a family background for that matter.
Hmm.
Nobody in my family is a doctor, but I always wanted to be a doctor. I was a bright child in school,
Hmm.
so, I was good at science, I was good at maths. So everybody used to be like, huh, she's really clever, and you should become a doctor. So maybe I really took that very seriously.
Right.
And yeah, I went.
As a college student, were you this nerd kind of person or were you a social jolly person?
Oh, not at all. In school, I was really a scholar type of person. But when I went into MBBS, I mean, the competition was really hard.
Right, right.
Everybody had cracked the entrance test, and all of us. I mean, like we were 100 of
Hmm.
females. Mine was a girls' batch, so
Uh,
we were 100 girls together, and so all were really clever. So that was not that kind. But I always, I was a happy-go-lucky, jolly girl who used to love dancing, taking part in cultural activities and doing
right.
everything else rather than studies.
But this is absolutely important that you balance everything together. Otherwise, it
Yeah, you
becomes
have to balance. You don't
hmm,
have an option once you go for
right,
medicine,
right, right.
MBBS. So you have to study first, and then
Huh,
you can balance all these things. That used to be a
definitely.
like hobby kind of thing, and I used to
Right.
love that, balancing that,
Hmm.
because just studying was not really possible. It was not really enjoyable.
Yes,
So I used to do all other kind of things too.
yes. What is the course structure for MBBS?
MBBS has got 4.5 years of study year.
Hmm, hmm,
So
hmm, hmm.
first year is for 1 year, rather first, third, and fourth. All 3 years are for 1 year, and second
Okay.
year is for 1.5 years. So
Hmm.
total is 4.5 years. And after you complete your MBBS, then you have to do an internship, which is like a
Okay.
practical learning for 1 year
Okay.
after that 4.5 years. So, and that internship is compulsory. Okay, you have to
Yes.
do it. You don't get your completion certificate. You don't get an MBBS degree certificate unless you do an internship. So the total course is like for 5.5 years after 12th.
Okay. And does the college matter? Like from which college you passed out? Does it matter in your later future career?
Yeah, of course. It affects, of course, it really matters. But like nowadays, it's getting so tough. I mean, you have to give NEET, that is National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, which is an all India level test. Okay. In my times, it used to be Maharashtra CT. So we were just confined to Maharashtra colleges. So I gave that MHCT, and we even had an all India PG entrance test. So we have to balance that. So that time it was a bit easier, I feel. The competition was surely more. I mean, like we had 1 lakh or some entries, and colleges and seats are hardly 10,000 to 15,000. Those two. So many people, I mean, like appear for the exam, but they don't really get through it. So there are limitation of seats. And now it's NEET, so you get seats all over India. But surely the competition increases again because everybody in India is appearing for the test. So the number surely increases. It's in that proportion. So after NEET, you can go for MBBS, Ayurvedic, homeopathic, BDS, physiotherapy, which are according to your rank. So MBBS and dental are the higher going ranks. The toppers should go for this MBBS and dental, and then physiotherapy, and then rest of the medical branches.
Okay. MBBS is just the beginning. After that, you need to specialize in many other areas. So
MBBS, after doing MBBS, you can practice general medicine, So you are a general practitioner. You must be familiar with this term ki GP, family doctor, my family physician. So that is GP, that is general practitioner who practices MBBS. So MBBS is knowing everything of, a little of everything, every subject we have to cover, but a little. We don't go into deep matters. So after doing MBBS, you have a choice. You can practice as a general practitioner after internship. So after those 5.5 years, or then again, you have to go for NEET PG, that is post-graduation. So again, you have to go for an entrance exam, which is again an all India level entrance. Then according to your marks, you get into the different faculties. So there are so many branches, like obstetrics and gynec, surgery, medicine, pediatrics, orthopedic, then radiology, pathology, microbiology. There are non-clinical branches, non-clinical as in anatomy, physiology, in which you don't really deal with the patients. But then you can become a professor, you can go into research things, all those things. So there are clinical, paraclinical subjects. So you can choose accordingly whatever you love.
Right.
And nowadays, super specialization is a must, after doing, I mean, like, because even you, I mean, like, even, and everybody wants to go to a super specialist, even if you have a cough and cold, you go to ENT, ear, nose, throat specialist. You don't really go to a GP nowadays. You have a sprain, you go to an orthopedic.
Exactly.
So super specialization is a must in these days.
Yes. And we as general patients, we definitely look for this, that if somebody has a super specialization, we deal with that person and not with any other person.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone wants to be, like in best hands.
Right. Absolutely. And during the internship, do you have a choice where you want to go where you want to work as an intern, or is some restricted rule available?
Yeah. I mean, like 90% of the kids have to do the internship in the state college in which they have passed. But the toppers, I mean, like they have been given priority. Ki first 10% of the students or something can really go as externs. Interns are the internal students. Externs, as in jo bahar jana chahti, from my college they want to go. Because if you are in a private college and you don't have really that much patient database, ki patients come here and I won't really get that practical training. Few people think so. Then they go for internship in government colleges where the workload is tremendous. There you get hands-on training like anything, I mean, like every day they have 10 deliveries, every day they have 10-15 surgeries lined up. So, you can really get hands-on training because the residents there are worked up and everybody is so much occupied that surely interns really get, nice things. I mean, like internship, you should go and learn. So the thing is, after internship, you have to give your PG entrance. So many people, what happens is many times people think I just want to crack nice rank in the PG entrance and I want to take a super specialist. So let's just chuck this internship, let's just not do it. So few people also go for some colleges where there's not much of load of work so that they get time to study for PG, but I would suggest you should really go for a nice vigorous training in internship, because that's your hands-on training. That's the first time you're actually exposed to the practicality of this field.
Right,
You
right,
get
right.
to see patients, you get to handle them, you get to
Hmm.
little things like small lipoma excisions, small
Hmm.
surgeries, delivering a patient, normal deliveries. You get to learn all this in your
Everything.
internship.
Absolutely. As a doctor, your personality changes a lot. Like you become more amiable, more considerate towards your patients. Were
Yeah.
you this kind of person before, or did your personality change after you became a doctor?
Nice question. I mean, like my father would love to answer this, I feel, because I mean, like, I was a bit short-tempered, I mean,
Okay.
like I get angry easily and all. But now surely my patience have increased, and once you
Yes.
sit in front of your patients, you have to answer them very patiently, and you have to be polite. You can't really get
Right.
angry, though they're asking you again and again the same question, or maybe at times people come google their
Hmm.
symptoms and just come up with a diagnosis, and they act like they know everything. But that
Hmm.
time also you
Right.
just need to keep your cool and answer them properly, politely. So of course I have changed as a person for
Yes.
sure. I've matured in a way.
Right, right, right. In all the areas that you're practicing, in all the areas that you're specializing right now, which is the most interesting and experience-oriented area?
Okay. As a gynecologist, you need to work on many things, I mean, like, people think, gynecologist means stree rog tadnya, just
Huh, huh.
doctor dealing with, any problem
Female.
in female. So
Right.
it's actually gynecology and obstetrics. But even, I mean, like after delivering, you get
Hmm.
so much of faith in your trust in your gynac, na, that even if the person gets a silly cold or cough, na, that also time she comes back to a gynecologist only,
Hmm.
so you
Hmm.
need to be really good at
Right.
handling all this. My area of interest is obstetrics. I
Hmm.
really love obstetrics is delivering. It's
Okay.
related to pregnant patients and their delivery. So
Okay.
obstetrics is
Okay.
my area of interest for sure. I mean, like as a priority basis one,
Right.
I really love that. I have a passion for delivering,
Hmm.
and I love that. I love my job. And secondly is infertility,
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
vitro fertilization, in which there are so many new things coming up. It's
Hmm.
assisted reproductive technologies, IVF, IUI, so
Hmm.
many things
Hmm.
coming up. I'm already into learning that, I'm mastering that. So IVF is second thing for me.
Yes, definitely. As a doctor, you need to, like, we as professionals, we are not allowed to solicit or advertise our clients, right? So it is only through word of mouth. So as a practitioner, how should a doctor solicit or get his clients?
uh, Through his deeds only, I mean, I would suggest. I mean,
Hmm.
like once you treat a patient nicely, you're being polite to her, and you're treating her
Hmm.
up to the mark. You diagnose her well, you treat her, and she's like happy ki, oh wow, doctor, I was showing up so many doctors, but
Hmm.
nothing really relieved me, and now that I've
Hmm.
come to you, and my problem is just gone in 10 days with your medicines on. So that trust and faith, once they build, then they surely, word of mouth, then they surely tell
Hmm.
their sisters and everybody, and
Absolutely.
accordingly it goes. So I can't really go and put up a banner of mine,
Of
and
course.
I
Of
can't really
course.
advertise it that way.
Of
But
course.
once you start practicing, it eventually happens on its own. I mean, like,
Okay. Okay. Right. Were there any difficulties that you faced in your entire career till date?
not really. I mean, like, I've been really lucky. I mean, of course, after MBBS, I wanted obstetrics, but
Hmm.
when I cleared my DNB, I was getting ENT, I was getting patho, but I didn't want that. So I again dropped 1 year. I again gave the
Hmm.
entrance, and
Hmm.
then I went for
Hmm.
gynac. So I
Okay.
was very much into it, and I wanted gynac only. So
Hmm.
that was the difficult patch for me when, I mean, like, other friends of yours are already into PG, and then you're not
Right.
getting it. That there was a bit of peer pressure, but otherwise it was okay. I mean, like, not much.
Right.
I don't even
Right.
remember those now things.
And how does it feel when you deliver a baby, a new life is born? So how is that feeling?
Wow. It's an eternal bliss, I must say. It's a very beautiful feeling, and like the joy, the happiness the mother is having, the entire family
Hmm.
is having, adds to
Hmm.
it. I mean, it's
Hmm.
really nice feeling, and you feel, wow. I mean, like, I'm a messenger of God, and helping people doing something. And it's like whenever they come to a gynac,
Hmm.
otherwise what happens that you don't want to go to a doctor, because
Hmm.
when you
Hmm.
go to a doctor, that when you're gonna
Hmm.
fall sick, so gynac is the only exception where you are getting a good news, and then only you go
Right.
to a gynac. So people really looking forward to go to a gynac.
Right.
So when you deliver a baby, it's really nice. I mean, like, you feel good for the mother because the mother is so much into pain. But even I mean, like after seeing the baby, the mother just gives it away and she's like crying all the
Absolutely.
time. And you feel really happy and satisfied. Ki, wow, I've done it. Because
Yes.
delivering a baby is also a quite tough job.
Hmm,
You know,
hmm, hmm.
you may
Right.
injure the baby, you may injure a
Hmm,
mom while
hmm,
delivering that. There
hmm,
are
hmm,
so many complications related to pregnancy and
hmm,
delivery.
hmm, hmm,
So once it happens smoothly and nicely, you really feel satisfied and happy about it.
hmm. Absolutely. In all the professions, mistakes are allowed. Allowed, I can say that if they have a mistake, they can rectify it. But in case of doctors, that is not the case. If there is a mistake, it
Yeah.
can even hamper or it can even lead to the death of the patient. So you have to leave
Yeah.
all your things aside and you need to focus only on the patient at the moment. So how do you have to
Yeah.
deal with this?
So it is surely a stressful branch, I mean, like,
Hmm.
jitna greener logo ko dikhta hai, the grass is always greener
हाँ,
on side. Like, ki, wow, I mean, like doctors, are come on, unending profession and never
हाँ,
dying profession. Hai.
हाँ.
You're always, I mean, like you're earning and, that
Yes.
way people always keep on talking about you. But it's a very stressful
Hmm.
profession.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then being an emergency branch, it is more
Hmm.
stressful
Hmm.
because I get a call at midnight or any time of the
Hmm.
day, and
Hmm.
then I just have to get up and run up. Okay,
Hmm.
so even
Hmm.
that happens, but then you have to maintain your own mental health,
Hmm.
physical health. So
Hmm.
surely you should be exercising regularly. You should be doing meditation, yoga, things which
Yes.
really calm you down. You should have your own peace of mind. You should
Hmm.
have a nice family support, so that
Hmm.
at back of your mind you don't have any pressures or tensions.
Pressures.
I
Hmm.
mean, like once
Hmm.
I go in the hospital, I don't really think about oh my what my son must be doing, and like
Hmm.
will my
Hmm.
husband eat now and all. Okay, I have a nice family background, a strong support system.
Right.
So that is really important. Once you have a strong support system and you
Hmm.
are mentally at peace, you
Hmm.
can surely give your 100% when you are in the hospital to your patient, and that really
Hmm.
decreases your stress.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. In your entire hectic schedule, like you must be starting early or at any time during the day. When do you find time for your fitness or for the yoga, for meditation? Where do you find time for yourself?
Early morning. Actually, I don't really like exercising in the evening or anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mostly, I exercise in the morning.
Hmm.
So early
Hmm.
morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I
Hmm.
try and do my functional trainings, yoga.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's
Hmm.
online
Right. Right.
training.
Hmm.
So I do it early morning. Then I take a bath,
Hmm.
breakfast, and then I
Hmm.
get ready and go for my work.
Leave. Right.
If at all I have operations or
Hmm.
emergencies in the morning, then I just do it in the evening if possible.
Okay.
Otherwise, I just
Okay.
skip it. But at least 5 days a week, you should do it,
Should do.
I feel.
Right. Right. As a woman, you need to play all the roles: a mother, a wife, a daughter-in-law, cook, cleaner, and doctor. How everything is manageable at one time.
It's surely not manageable at one time, but I mean, like, I would like to tell it to everybody over here that don't try to be a super mom, don't try to be a
Hmm.
superwoman, who's managing everything. And so,
Hmm.
I mean, like, inbuilt only, we females are a bit obsessive, about everything,
Right.
about cleanliness, about discipline, about keeping everything in place and all.
Hmm. Hmm.
So at times I feel, I mean, like, even I was the same kind of a person, but
Hmm.
nowadays at times I feel, forget it. If I want to take a rest for half an hour, then forget
Hmm.
it. I mean,
Hmm.
let the mess be there. And, at times I feel,
Hmm.
I mean, like, it's like, oh, wow, I cleared the room and now I'm happy. But then I'm damn tired and I didn't
Right.
get time to sleep and now I have to go to hospital. So at
Hmm.
times I really
Hmm.
just thinking, forget it. I mean, so you don't
Hmm.
need to be perfect in everything. So
Hmm.
just,
Hmm. Hmm.
keep calm and managing everything. Surely, I mean, like the best role I would like to, what I play is I feel as a mother. I
Hmm.
really love my son. I have an adorable son of 6 years old. And I love spending time with him. I love parenting, I mean, like I've done many sessions and all on that. And,
Hmm.
I love really spending time with him, doing activities with him. So that is the thing. If you love, I mean, like, I would
Hmm.
like to tell people that few people under pressure, or have children or anything.
Hmm.
See,
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, like, having a kid or getting married is not the ultimatum in your life. If you
Right.
don't feel like, and if that's not your priority, then don't do it.
Right. Right.
I mean, like, I have met many people who are very ambitious, and who are,
Hmm.
very career oriented. So
Hmm.
I feel fine, you follow your dreams. But I was never
Hmm.
that kind. I always wanted to be
Hmm.
a doctor, but also I always wanted to be a family person. I
Hmm.
always
Hmm.
wanted to enjoy my family life, have a loving husband and,
Right.
adorable son. And, so I'm happy with that. I have all
Yes.
that. And, I love balancing that. adjust my OPD timings according to my kid's school.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
like when he was in daycare, I used to adjust my OPD timings with that. Nowadays, because
Okay.
of COVID situation, for last 1 year, he's home and he's doing online
Hmm.
classes. So
Right.
everything is really disrupted. But accordingly, I manage.
Right.
And as I
You're
said,
grooming
a strong family support. So,
support.
I have a
Absolutely.
nice helping mother-in-law, a sister-in-law. So, we
Right.
really manage things well together.
Right. You're grooming Reyansh in an absolutely beautiful way. We've been seeing his posts also. All the activities that he is
Thank
doing.
you.
His age kids really do not do all of this. They only are into masti and breaking things and all. But he is absolutely into
He
very
is also
productive
into
things.
all that. Yeah. Because
uh,
what I feel is, I mean, like, as I don't get to give him so much of time. So whenever
hmm,
I try to give him quality time. So,
right.
I really go on Insta, I follow few pages, and
Hmm,
try to find out new activities, new learning activities, new scientific activities, because he's more of academic oriented. He's not really
okay.
sports
Okay.
oriented kid, I
Hmm.
would say. But still, I mean, so that's why I indulge him into all these arts and
Hmm.
crafts and some
Hmm.
science projects and something,
Hmm.
and he loves doing that. And so, I've been doing those with him since he was
Hmm.
even 1.5 years old.
Generation nowadays, the students, their exams are postponed. They're not really career oriented. They do not think about their career very early in age like we used to think. So, what is your opinion? Should they focus on their career right now or can they build it up later on?
No, surely. I mean, you should always focus on your career right from early age. I
Hmm.
mean, like, our education system is already very much, I mean, it's very narrow-minded kind of thing. I
Hmm.
mean, like, you have to learn everything, right? From history to geography, civics, and
Hmm.
science and math, right? From first till 10th,
Hmm.
though
Hmm.
you don't want a career in that. And
Hmm.
it's okay.
Hmm.
I mean, you need to know a basic of everything. But I
Hmm.
would say you should have more of problem-based learning. And so kids should be more focused. I mean, like, once you're focused, you know that I want to do this when I'm going to be
Hmm.
20 years old or when I'll
Hmm.
grow up. So you can already focus it from an early age. You can master those skills from an early age.
Right.
So I mean, I would suggest that parents also should not force your kid ki, I want you to become a pilot, I want you to become a
Hmm.
doctor. No, I mean,
Hmm.
like, you should see ki, what are their likings, what are they good
Hmm.
at.
Hmm.
Just because every other kid is getting getting engineering or medical degrees doesn't mean that your kid should also go for that. And
Yes.
nowadays there's so much of scope for other things also, like,
Right.
choreography, singing, and arts, and being a teacher. I mean, so many professions, and you can really excel in that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I mean, like, cooking also, I mean, you can be a good
Hmm.
chef.
Good. Yes.
So I would suggest that you should always know what's good, I mean, like, what your kid is good at, and then you
Hmm.
should master the
Hmm.
skills accordingly.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
kid should also be focused, they should know what I should be doing. Because what happens is, till 10th you're really serious, you're quite studious
Hmm.
kind of thing, and you study. But then after going 11th and 12th, you feel, oh wow, college days, and I want to enjoy college, and forget it, yeah, I've been studying till 10 and now I don't want to study. And then their marks drop in 12th standard, and then they
Hmm.
really don't get what they want. They can't
Huh.
get it, I mean, like, they won't get admissions for a good college and all, and then again, then they
Absolutely.
have to compromise on the degrees. So I
Hmm.
would suggest focus on what you want to do, and then you
Hmm.
can surely, that's what I'm saying, balancing is the main thing. You
Hmm.
get
Hmm.
24 hours in a day, so you can surely
Hmm.
balance your work, your hobbies, your passions,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
follow everything.
Hmm. And right now there is so much of cutthroat competition related to marks also. Even 95% is not enough in today's generation.
Exactly. And you have
Uh,
entrance tests for everything, and
yes, for
cut to cut
everything.
marking, even a single mark and your seat is gone.
Right. While studying for medical, what are the pointers that must be kept in mind?
I mean, like, after 10th, you should go for 11, 12, you'll take science for sure, PCB.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you're really destined to become a doctor, I would suggest that go for PCB. And maths is really heavy, I mean, like,
Hmm.
it is tough. It is, a tough subject. So if you're really focused that I don't want to go for engineering or
Hmm.
something,
Hmm.
you can directly go for biology and don't take
Hmm.
maths, so that,
Hmm.
you can focus on your physics, chemistry, and your biology. Hmm?
Right.
But
Hmm.
then again, I say ki, if you really don't take maths, then your career options really reduce to half. Once you have
Okay.
maths, you can go
Okay.
for,
Okay.
many other options. I mean, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
many
Hmm.
options are open for you. So that way you have to balance. You should know कि
Hmm.
हाँ ठीक है, मुझे इंजीनियरिंग भी चलेगा, ओके, मुझे मेडिकल भी चलेगा, ओके, मेडिकल
Hmm.
में
Hmm.
बीडीएस भी चलेगा, एलोपैथी भी चलेगा, आयुर्वेदिक भी
Hmm.
चलेगा. ऐसे थोड़ा बहुत है आपका mindset, then you
Hmm.
should go for everything. I mean, like, you
Hmm.
should go
Hmm.
for PCMB and
Okay.
focus accordingly. Um, biology. I mean, like for being like MBBS में जाना है तो biology you have to concentrate on
Yes.
biology and chemistry more. And
Students
once you
जब
go for MBBS,
hmm,
once you go for MBBS, then accordingly, I mean, you start having a liking for particular subject, and then accordingly you go for your super specialization.
Okay. When the exam times appear, we are into this pressure of studying 10 hours, studying 12 hours. We do not focus on anything. We do not focus on our diet as well. So does diet play an important role while you're studying as a student? Like?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Because I mean, like, if you're into a good and healthy dietary habits, eating good food, so then you're always energetic, and your concentration span is good, and I mean, like high protein intake, and less of junk food and calories. So I mean, like, of course you avoid obesity as well, and your hormones also are in a regular fashion. So that surely plays a very important role. Diet and hydration, I would say hydration also plays a very important role. I mean, like, people binge on coffee and tea just before exam, I mean, like, just to be fresh and awake, but
Right.
that's very momentary, because high glucose intake, you're just taking some sweet things, sweeteners, desserts, and tea, coffee. I'll just give you a high sugar for some temporary time. Instead of that, always go for a healthy diet and a proper hydration.
Right. Parents nowadays are really skeptical about sending their students or their children in this MBBS field because of the situation that is going on right now. They do not know when this will get recovered. They do not know if any other viruses are going to come. So they do not want to send their kids into MBBS. Any suggestions on this, please?
No, I mean, like, which field is not having risks, I would say. I mean, like, if people, I mean, like, if army background people and their parents would think, oh, let's not send our kids to army, then, will we be secure? I mean, like, sitting at our home? So surely not. If there are no doctors, we won't be, I mean, like, who will treat us, so you shouldn't be so selfish. There's a proverb in Marathi, it says Shivaji janmawa पण दुसऱ्याच्या घरी. So it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, like, don't really be that selfish. And medical fraternity is a really good one. And you need dedicated and focused people in this. I mean, more. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Abhi is COVID situation me, you must have realized that we are short of the healthcare workers. We are short of everything, rather resources and all. So I would suggest that now people should start thinking on those lines. And really get into that. I mean, not just doctors, but even nursing staff, and midwives, as I say, brothers and sisters, and class 4 workers. So everyone has that, I mean, like, dignity, and it is surely a dignified job. It's not like there are class 4 workers and their mama maushis and all. Every worker is important, and you should always, encourage your kids to go into this fraternity, I would say.
Yes. You've trained so many interns under you, traditionally also, before also, and today. What is the difference between the trainees that were there earlier, like maybe 4-5 years earlier, and today?
Not really. I mean, like, when you're doing your residency, post graduation, that time you get to know many more interns because they're working under you, and you get really a helping hand because of them. So I really enjoyed that phase, when I was myself learning, but students and the juniors used to call you ma'am, please teach me delivery, ma'am, please give me episiotomy, suturing, and all. So that is a very good feeling. And I mean, like, I always believe in sharing. So sharing is caring. So sharing knowledge, sharing whatever I know, whatever I'm good at. I really love doing that. So I've been helping them now, and even then. Nowadays, I mean, like, now that I'm into a private practice, I don't really get to train juniors as such. But whoever juniors, I mean, like, those who come under me for training, or those who are under us and they're new. So we need to train them. But surely, I mean, like, now that I get to train are already qualified doctors. And that time they were learning ones. So that is surely different. The learning people are more enthused, and they're more into it, and they really want to everything, So that I loved. I mean.
Many students and parents are concerned about the income or the revenue that they are going to earn in this field. So what do you suggest to them? Like, should they look at their passion first and then the revenue, or both should go hand in hand?
See, I mean, like, follow your passion and don't think about money. I mean, this can be true in cases of female, I feel, at times, but where males have to earn a bread for their family, they can't really think about it. So surely money is there, and it's, I mean, like, you earn very handsomely in medical field. But the thing is that they start earning quite late,
Okay.
because I experienced this when my engineering friends, they did their engineering in 4 years through campus. They got a job in nice, multinational companies and all. Few of them went to US and all, and they were earning pretty handsome amount at that age. When I was still struggling, I was still studying. So in medical profession, you start earning quite late. But then surely, once you start earning, once you set a reputation of yours, you have a nice OPD, you have nice patient base, then you start
There's no
earning
looking back.
handsomely. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and it's always a peak. So other branches, other fields, I feel it's quite a plateau that like in a job, but there's a fixed income and a fixed salary actually in others. So medical, it's not that way. There are ups and downs. There can be slacks. There can, ups and there can be downs.
Right. The generation today, they are completely into this online teaching and social media, and even kids nowadays, even your kid, he must be studying online. So how do you keep him away from this online media for some time so that completely they are not focused on social media, but they have their own me time also?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's so tough to keep them offline, because I mean, like they are so tech savvy nowadays. They
Yes.
can handle smartphones, iPads. I mean, like my 6-year-old kid knows many more functions than me in my
Yeah.
smartphone. I mean, like he does all those editing of photos and all. He's doing it. I mean, so keeping him, I mean, that's why I indulge myself into so many activities and I make him sit and do art and craft just to keep him offline. That's the thing. But that's possible for a 6-year-old kid. I'm sure it must be getting really tough for kids of older, I mean, like older kids, parents. So, I mean, like keeping them offline is nowadays it's really tough, but that's surely, I mean, that's why you should indulge such habits of, reading, painting, drawing, such hobbies should be there in them since a kid, I used to love reading. I used to love dancing, then drawing, I love art and craft. So I mean, like if you have that liking, if you have that, something in you, then you keep doing that. And then you even you feel tired after surfing yaar Insta FB ke pages pe scroll karte jao after an hour you feel like, what am I doing? And I mean, like what shit is going on? Kuch bhi to nahi dikh raha, nothing new, and kuch to reels bana rahe hain and all. At times you enjoy, at times it's rejuvenating, but I mean, like over the period you really get bored about it. Even for video games and all, they become so monotonous. So I mean, like reading, art, it always has a new thing in it, and you should go for that. So kids should always indulge themselves in other extracurricular activities. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like in school also, they shouldn't be like always academy oriented. Ki bas padhai, padhai, padhai. They should always go for arts, music, drama, everything. So you once all rounder, then you really have a passion for that. You have hobby. Then in spite of you being good at something, I mean, there are so many doctors who are good at dancing, who are good at singing, and when we have our cultural programs, we get to see that multi-talented personalities, So you should have that. It's not like कि आप एक बार पढ़ाई में अच्छे हो तो just study. You should always balance that.
Gauritai, what is your dhya in life and have you achieved it?
My day, yeah, I mean, like 50% of it I must have achieved it, I feel at times. My first day and my very much priority was always a family life. I always wanted to be, a family person, a nice house, with loving people around me. As I said, a caring husband and having a adorable kid. And that I feel I have, and I'm very much at peace of my mind. And secondly, career wise, I want to master myself in IVF, as I said, in fertility, in vitro fertilization. And I would really, I mean, have that day of setting up a IVF lab. So that is yet to come for sure. So that is my day, ultimate day.
You'll surely do it.
Thank you so much.
The last question for the day. If a genie had to grant you one wish, what would it be?
Okay. In the present situation, I would just want to wake up and see, oh God, this COVID was just full of, a nightmare, and it's not there, and it was all fake and kuch nahi tha. So I would really wish for that. I so wish for this day to come where there's no coronavirus on earth, or maybe we have learned to handle it, because it's really pathetic, gloomy situation presently. It's very stressful, and I just want to get out of it. I want to travel. I want to go out.
Same here. I have seen many doctors who are, really strict, not approachable, but you are this kind of personality who is a very sweet, amiable kind of person and a go-to person always. You're always there in the help. Like whenever you need someone, you're always there, just a call away. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for sharing all your experience with us.
Thank you so much for calling me over here. It is a nice platform, and I would get to connect to younger students. I mean,
yes.
I mean,
So
like,
they are going to
I'm
call
happy
you
for that.
Yeah, because
sure,
we haven't
I'll
seen such sweet doctors. So if you are there, they're definitely going to call you for the guidance.
Thank you so much for this kind words.
Thanks a lot for being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.